Hello YouTube, this is Little Mr. Hardcore, aka Robert, with a SmackDown recap. We went to SmackDown on the 30th. Here's our tickets. We went, and my son won these, which was awesome. My dad heard on the radio, they said something about wrestling, and it was down by us, where this radio station, so we ran down there to see what was going on, and the guy said, I'm going to ask you a really hard question if you want tickets to go see SmackDown. And so my son's like, okay, what's the question? Because he knows enough about wrestling. I'm pretty sure he could guess it. And of course the guy says, who's the guy that just came back from leukemia? So that's, I think he just wanted to give him tickets. He just had to ask something, because that's obviously Roman Reigns. Everybody that knows wrestling should know that, right? Right. Okay, so that was that. And then when my son comes over to me, which I posted the picture, because he's never really won anything himself, ever. So he comes over to me and goes, Dad, and he's already crying, and he says, Dad, are we going to SmackDown? I said, I guess we are now. So we did go. It was an hour and a half drive down to Columbus, and we got there, and I had a little bit of money in case we had to charge for parking and stuff like that, which the security guy that was there, he was a really nice guy. He said, just park over here. I even seen a sign that said $5 parking. He said, just park over there. It's no charge. You're good. So we were good on that, which is awesome. I didn't want to pay for parking anyways. And then we were just walking around, because we're at Ohio State University, so we were walking around looking at things. And I didn't want to go too far because I didn't know where I was at. And I seen this sign that said WWE staff. Oh, hold on. Strike that. Strike all that. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. First, real quick, I bought a pack of this Heritage. Pulled a David Price jersey card. Kind of cool. So I just gave it to my son because it's a David Price jersey card. Bought some stickers at the store the other day. Got for Rick and Morty. That one was Jerry in the portal. Then I got Pickle Rick. But anyways, there's that. But anyways, so we were, as I was saying, before we even parked and everything, one of my friends messaged me, and because he goes to wrestling all the time, so I asked him about it. He goes, yeah, I'll be there, and then he sent me a link to a Cricket Wireless that was down in that area. And I said, look at that, I got ants crawling. I'm going to have to do something about that. Anyways, cut the ants crawling over there. Something about that window. But, so he sent me a link, said there was going to be a free, wrestler signing, so we went to go meet Sheamus. Some of you might have already seen that if you're on the, I think I posted that in the Facebook group. But we get down there, and it's usually for those it's one per, but they always say, like, if you can sneak another one in if you really like. So I'll show you the two that I got, and then I'll show you the two my son got. This one, for some reason, I'm going to have to lay it somewhere and get it flattened out, but I did. Here's the first one Sheamus signed. Here's the second one. I've always wanted this photo signed. I thought it was awesome. And then my son, when it's a little bent for some reason. I don't know what happened there. The folder I was holding it in, I think, did that. But I'll have something to flatten it out. But anyways, my son gets up to get his autograph, and when he goes to hand him the one, he goes, can you write Rocksteady on this? And he goes, okay. So he signed it Rocksteady instead of Sheamus from the Ninja Turtles movie, which is still awesome, but I wish he would have signed it then. Signed it. Rocksteady. And then he was signing this, which is awesome. He wrote Sheamus, Ice Ice Shamey, which is awesome. That's when they were rapping on. Okay, now back to the other story. So we see a sign that says WWE staff, and there's a couple guys standing there. I said, what's going on here? And the one guy goes, oh, this is where the wrestlers pull in and the workers and all that pull in. You can stand here and watch them drive through. I said, oh, is there any chance for autographs? He goes, well, if someone stops, you could get autographs, maybe. And we're like, okay, well, let's try it. So we stood there for a while because we weren't from around there. We didn't know nothing about the area. So instead of getting lost, we just figured we'd stand there and see any wrestlers. And most of the wrestlers would drive by and wave. Carrie Singh, which is the Pirate Princess, if you don't know who that is, she drove by, and my son kind of showed her his photo, or his blank, and asked if she would sign. And she's like shaking her head yes, but yet she kept driving, so I was like, maybe she's just acting like she don't know what we're doing. Whatever, I don't know. But she did not sign. Most, like, the Iconics went by and they waved and was nice, but nobody stopped. And then all of a sudden this white vehicle pulls over and rolls down his window and says, I'll sign for you guys. And lo and behold, it was Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods at the time. So that was so awesome. All I had was blank because I didn't know this was going on. So we got, I'll show you mine. We got Kofi Kingston, and then my son said, well, can Xavier sign? And Kofi goes, I don't know, you have to ask him. So, if you can see there, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, they both signed, which was awesome. Xavier seemed more interested in his phone, but Kofi was taking pictures with everybody and signing for everybody, so that was awesome. He's a very nice guy. And I went to hand my marker over to Xavier Woods so he could sign mine, which obviously he did. But I went to hand it to him, and the marker dropped, and like everything in Kofi's car is white, and Kofi's like, ah! Like he made this weird screaming noise. It was funny, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, you're all right. And I know it probably did suck. I don't know if it marked anything or not. That would suck, but I'm pretty sure he could get it taken care of. But that was crazy. Then who else stopped? I'm trying to think. There was we're waiting, see if anybody else would stop. We got one of the Singh brothers, they got stuck kinda, so they kinda stopped. And the one was jamming out and was acting like nobody was there, but the other one rolled his window down, and nobody wanted his autograph except for my son, because we're not used to getting autographs like that. So he signed right there next to Xavier Woods, just a SS for Samir Singh. And then Bailey pulled over and goes, I'll sign. And I was like, sweet, you're getting Bailey. And she signed for the only kid there, which obviously was my son. And from all the other autographers, they said that's a really good Bailey autograph compared to what she does now. And then, as we're waiting, see if anybody else is coming in, Mickie James pulled up. A really nice lady. She was signing for anybody who wanted her autograph. And so she signed right here, and then she kind of, on accident, marked a little bit more there. But there's Mickie James on, and then I also got Mickie James. And after she signed mine, she's like, she went to hand me my marker back and dropped it on her hand, and it markered her hand. And she's like, oh, damn, I markered all over myself, and started laughing. Oh, man, I don't know what was so funny about it, but I thought it was hilarious. So that's who all I got. Because I was more interested in my son getting autographs and having a good time. And so we went to the show and had a good time. Free tickets, you cannot complain. I will not complain at all. Good show. A lot of trickery that you don't see on TV, because they have their dark match, which was Aleister Black versus Jinder Mahal. No one else saw that but us, obviously. Aleister Black won, obviously. And then when Mustafa Ali was coming out, in the middle of that, when it went to commercial, we saw Becky Lynch come out and said, hey, I just got a couple of seconds or minutes to realize I'm going to put my titles up against Charlotte tonight. And I was like, whoa, sweet, that's cool. And we didn't think nothing of it. And then everyone that was around us said that once 205 Live starts, because they pre-tape that, it's the show's over, it's time to go. Because nobody wants to stay for 205 Live, I guess. I don't know. We were there, we're staying. That's what I told my son, we're staying. So we stayed, watched the 205 Live, and my son's like, wait a minute, they said Becky was going to fight Charlotte. What the heck's going on? Never happened. I don't know what was going on. So my son's complaining about that. He's getting kind of salty because, hey, that's supposed to be the main event, whatever. I say more than 50% of the people left because 205 Live started, and as we're watching it, which I can see why. It was like 2 matches for an hour show, and they drug it on to 1 match. Tony Nese versus somebody. I don't remember who it was. Drew Gulak. But anyways, Tony Nese won. But anyways, right after the match, all of a sudden Charlotte's music hits and says, "Now for your main event," and people was nuts. It was nuts because they suckered everybody. But anyways, after that, Becky Lynch won. But after that, we went outside, and my son said, "Can we go see if we see the wrestlers leaving?" I said, "We can try, but most of the wrestlers leave after their matches," I was told. So we went and stood out there, and as we were walking over there, I seen Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis, or Mike Kanellis for his gimmick. But the Kanellises was walking out, and the lady said, "You know, we bring your cars to you." He's like, "No, I'll go get it. No big deal." So he's headed to get that. And I was like, "Sweet, we're gonna get Mike Kanellis and Maria." We run over there, and Mike's like, "I'm going to get the car," and she goes, "I'll sign for a little bit." So Mike did not sign because he went to go get their car, but my son did get Maria, and she took a couple pictures, signed for some people. I tried to get her. She said I gotta go as I was walking over there, so as long as my son got her. So that's what his finished product looked like, I guess. But we had a good time. It's awesome when you get free tickets. Not paying $35 for a t-shirt. I can find them online for cheaper. But we did have a good time. Thought I'd just update what we got. So, my Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Maria. Kofi Kingston, Bayley, Samir Singh, Xavier Woods, Maria, and Mickie James. Oh, and at the end of the show, there was another car that pulled over. I forgot all about that. We didn't get him because this time it was Kofi Kingston by himself. He was leaving, and it was awesome. Once again, he signed for everybody. There was a lot more people after the show, and he signed for everybody. Took photos. He's a really nice guy. Signed anything and everything. Just crazy that the world champion would pull over and sign for everybody when Daniel Bryan was there. He showed up, and like maybe 10 minutes later he left. So I'm guessing they're saying he didn't need him or whatever. I don't know. Lana and Rusev was there. We seen her Lana out walking her dog, and she never came nowhere near us, of course. Paige was an hour and a half late because I guess they have pre-meetings or whatever. And then the security guy that was there, I don't know your name. He was a really nice guy. He had a list of who's got to check in of the wrestlers that are supposed to be there, and he was letting us know. And then when he would have to do something, he'd ask, "Who's the wrestler that just drove by?" And we'd tell him. Really nice guy. He ordered some food and came over to my son and gave him his French fries. Said he didn't want them. He gave a couple of the people there some tickets to get in for free because they didn't have tickets. He goes, "Here." He goes, "You guys can have tickets for the show." He asked us if we had tickets, and I said we already did. So I'm assuming he was offering us tickets too. But why is this song playing? Anyways, I didn't realize that. Anyways, I rambled on enough. We had a blast. Kofi Kingston, awesome stand-up guy. Would love to get him on a regular photo sometime. I just didn't know he was going to sign at all. Had a blast. So that's my recap. Done blabbling for 13 minutes. If you stuck with me this long, thanks. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my recap and listening to my random assortment of music. Bye!